Saturday the 17th of November. Just want to kind of give you guys some dates and then maybe share a thought with you. I'm not sure. My mind's always going. So, first thing is kind of give you just an update of today. And, gosh darn it, there was something I want to talk about, kind of newsworthy. But, I forgot what it was. Anyway, I'm up here in Massachusetts seeing my mom. I haven't seen her in quite a while, so that's great. The kids are inside. It's always they just built a puzzle. It's good. I love to just sit back and not be involved. Just kind of watch from a distance. The sweetest, most loving thing. Whether it's at home and I watch the kids on the couch with the dog, watching a movie with their mom or Miss Jamie, or I just love to sit back and just watch my family. So it's neat to kind of sit back on the couch and watch the three of them building a puzzle together, things of that nature. So today's a good day. It's good to see Mom. It's going to be a quick visit. I got to get back tomorrow. Work Monday. Next week's Thanksgiving, so it's a busy week for a lot of people, and we start to get into that season. But I wanted to share something with y'all, and I'm not really sure what to say or how to say it, but it's been really neat since I've been back, is I've gotten a lot of contact from people I'd never met before, asking a range of questions, that were supportive and follow me I'd never known about, and it's amazingly flattering when someone does that. Recently, and I meant to give them a shout the other day, heard from a young lady that said they'd heard that I wasn't real enthralled with my first visit to a church local. And said, hey, my family and I would love to take you, to my church. It's local. Just reach out, and I appreciated her doing so, and I assured her I would. And as I'm sitting here, actually at my mom's house, it's a quiet day. Kids are doing their thing, and unfortunately, and here's an update I'm being asked about a lot. I'm very stressed right now, mentally, because of the way this computer issue happened. To those of you that don't know, I've been writing my book, and before I left for the journey, I had picked up cheaply just a refurbished computer from this place in New York that I go to. I've bought in 3 from them now, and I should realize they're refurbished for a reason. The first 2 kind of crapped the bed, and I don't know why I thought this one would be any different, but I planned on taking it on the journey with me and writing the book as I went, but it was too big, too cumbersome. I jettisoned it the first day, didn't carry it with me. I was kind of doing my book and my notes via my email, send myself an email, came back, and it's part of the research I've been doing as I've done the book. But frankly, I've invested a lot of time in the book thus far. And if you don't know the story, so I was home, I left it at home, and I would do the book. And I don't have any apps on it, I don't have anything, didn't let the kids play any games, did nothing. It was simply there to use the office documents. Friday morning, at my new job, I haven't got my computer yet, and it's tough looking at some of the maps and stuff on my phone. So let me bring my computer in. I could set it up and log on to the websites and go from there. And when I got in, the minute I got in at 4 o'clock in the morning, essentially the computer crashed. Haven't been able to get it fixed. It's a strange computer in the sense when I turn it on, it takes literally 3 minutes to get powered up. So every time it does, it takes a long time anyway. It kept rebooting, and whatever this error message is, at this point I could care less about the computer, but I do care greatly, and why I'm stressed is about losing what I've written about the book. A, I'm really proud of the way it's coming out, and B, I didn't jump drive it and save it. I didn't mail a copy. I was going to continue to do it and save it to my desktop, thinking, if it never leaves the home, what harm can come of it? Well, obviously, I know, 20/20 hindsight, and people will say, well, you should have done this and you should have done that. Well, I didn't. So now I don't want to lose what is the most essential thing to me in my life, which is my time. In the same way, I don't want to waste any of your time. I invested a lot of time in those chapters and was real proud of them. So I hope to be able to recoup them. It's out of hopefully a troubleshooter in York. But if any of you guys are computer whizzes and know that there's a way to get past this blue bug screen and just recapture hopefully what's on there somehow, that's all I ask. So I'd appreciate it if anybody knows it could reach out and help. Obviously, you need to be pretty local to York, because I can't do a whole lot more than that. So it's Saturday. Talk to the kids about church tomorrow, maybe taking Grandma. Grandma's 83 years old, doesn't get around all that well, and with the weather, we'll see. So she may join us, she may not. We'll be leaving tomorrow, either after church or by midday for sure, and hopefully getting back tomorrow evening sometime. And then it's off to work. So it's been a very hectic schedule for me. And my job, especially learning, is 4 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon at the earliest. And the one thing I didn't miss on my journey is when I resigned my position from my company, I was able to delete the mail account. And here I sit today. I've gotten 120 emails. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, most of which don't pertain to me, but the simple fact that it's just every time I look, 20 new messages, 18 new messages, and you got to read them to see if they're even worth responding to. And I wish I could just let them all be until I got back into the office on Monday and looked at them then, but it's just not my nature. And besides, I don't want to go through 120 of them in any given moment, so I'd rather do them 18 at a time. And I end up deleting most of them. Anyway, the real reason for my video today wasn't to necessarily, well, it is to share a message. There's a lot that's going on, but I don't know. So I have something that hit me a short while ago. I'm considering something, and some people may think I'm an idiot. Some people may think I don't know what they would think. Honestly, I don't care what they think. This journey, this whole enlightenment to me has been really pretty special, and I feel compelled in a calling. And the one thing that's been pretty amazing to me is the way there are a lot of people I've connected with. And it's not because of anything I'm doing, because there's a lot of people that are in the same boat. We just don't communicate it. And I think now that I've kind of become something of the voice of how I feel and aren't afraid to put it out there, there's a lot of people that are identifying with that. Like I said, there are people reaching out to me in support of the journey. And I have something of an idea. Although I wasn't enthralled with my first church-going experience, there were some things that took place that I did like and was impressed with. And I have an idea. I don't know that I'm ready to share it with you guys yet. I might reach out to a few people close to me in York, because it would have to be in York, close to home, and see. And essentially, so understand, I want to try to be as clear as possible. So, a lot of the things that took place on the journey, people worrying about, how this spiritually hit me. And I got my copy of the Bible that was given to me out here in Bristol, Oklahoma. And, it's something that's a document, probably the most widely read book in the history of man, right? Certainly a ton of interpretations. But it's kind of hard for me. I try to consider myself, I try to develop opinions on things based upon logical, rational thoughts, but I can't have an opinion on something I've never read or even tried to understand. And what I've learned in going to services throughout the country is this particular book is really, really more than anything I've ever heard about or talked about interpretation. There are words written, and I think you could, many people, and maybe interpretation is the wrong word, much like my journey. My journey had about 4 legs to it, and one of the writers that did a reporter on it was like, well, what are you doing this for? And I talked about that in the past, Are you doing it to prove to your kids that humanity exists? Okay, great story. Are you doing it to raise money for a couple of charities? Good story. That's what you're doing it for, Are you doing it because you're trying to run or escape from something? What is it? Are you doing it? And it was something else that she was saying, But it's funny, and what I tried to explain was that I'm doing it for all those things. Why does it have to be just one thing? And what I found, much like my journey, or the way I think, kind of like the Bible is through my experiences, different things hit different people. This scripture might apply to this person, that scripture might apply to that person. Part of my journey was because people understood the charities and said, hey, I'm all about the charities, man, I support you, what you're doing is great. Other people said, you know what, I got plenty of emails, hey man, I'm burned out by humanity too, people do suck, I'm following you because I want to hear the great stories. Some people are just, from that aspect of it, look, I don't have the courage or not the courage, but the confidence to just walk up to strangers. I'm interested in how that went, how did it go? It doesn't have to be just one size fits all. It could be different sizes for different people. Try on what you like. And so my mindset is running with that. So maybe I'll tell you what I'm considering. I don't know if this makes any sense or not. So I'm been fascinated, and I haven't gotten far into it in terms of reading the Bible. And I'm not preaching. I'm not here to create anything. But I think there's a lot of people out there that are very ignorant about a lot of topics. That's just one of them. But again, I never took the time to sit and read it, the same way I haven't read, name a lot of books, great literature I've never read. So I can't speak to Robinson Crusoe. I never read the book. I've heard the stories, but just like I've heard stories of the Bible, until I read the book, I can't really say, hey, here was my interpretation of it. But what I was thinking about doing, and you can call it what you want. You can call it a meeting, an organization, you can call it a church, you can do whatever. But I was thinking about trying to see, and I don't know how it would go over, but seeing if I got a place quiet, whether it's a home, a VFW hall, something, right? And just invited people to come and get together and talk. And give everybody a chance, if they're comfortable, to talk about themselves. Everywhere I go, everywhere since I've been done, people are asking me questions. What did run across? My mom just asked me, and everybody hears something different when I tell a story. I'm telling the same words, but something else picks them. And how many of us have that place in life that we can go to share with people that aren't going to judge us, that want to help us share their perspectives? And I just imagined while I was reading a little while ago, having this get together where we go and we get together, and it has different things for different folks. Maybe we sit down and I read a little bit of the Bible, not to be preachy, not to make it church going. There's a lot of people that have been through religion and have their own mindset. I don't want, I certainly admire them to have that. I'm not saying they shouldn't come, but come with an open mind. Forget about all the teachings before. Let's just, and what you've heard is your interpretation. Let's just do it together and have some coffee and some donuts, and then sit around and just talk about the everyday. No different than if I sat down and met you guys in a restaurant, a bar, street corner, on a bus, and we just started BSing about whatever. But I think so many people don't have a place to go, kind of a person to organize that, to say, hey, you know what, for an hour or two on a Thursday night, on a Tuesday night, come on down, you're welcome, bring a friend. How many of us sit home stressed and troubled? How many of us say, you know what, yeah, I've heard about the Bible, I don't know anything about it. Hey, I've heard about that movie, never saw it. Hey, you know what, maybe I'd learn from, Bob or Mary's or Sam or Jackie's thing today, right? Hey, here's what happened to me today. Today I did this thing real positive, or I heard about this, and we talk about it. And just bringing people together is what I'm asking or thinking, is how would that work? I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't work at all, but it seems like wherever I've gone, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but there has to be a catalyst. There has to be that catalyst of people feeling comfortable to talk. Like I said, I've met 75-year-olds along the way, and I've met now 13-year-olds along the way that have met me and bonded with me and shared with me. And I think it's because there is no agenda. No one's trying. So that's my thought, is what if we all got together, not all, what if a few of us got together and we just shared, whatever it is, experiences, stories, education, good, bad, and we just talked, and it had some place for us to go, so we didn't have to go to the bar and we're upset with who we are, and we escape there. Some people escape to the refrigerator, some people escape to the casino, some people just escape to their bedrooms or get lost in a television show. Instead of binge watching Game of Thrones, what if they said, hey, Tuesday nights for an hour or two, I'm going to go out and meet perfect strangers today. So that's my consideration right now. Time's running out. I love you guys. Have a happy Saturday. I'm sure I'm off my rocker, but I'm just sharing with you what's going through my head. I pray my computer gets fixed and I can recoup that information. Take care, guys.